We just bought a house that needed a lot of work. There is this weird room leading from the garage into the house. It had a closet that I knew we wouldn't use, so I decided to make it into a usable space. After measuring the length and width of the closet, I transferred those measurements onto the doors and cut them to size. The doors are hollow core, so I needed to make sure they were strong enough to sit on. The panels were easy to remove with a chisel and a hammer. I placed the end into the door and nailed it into place. Then I filled the gaps with wood filler for a cleaner look. Next, I primed and painted the door white. It took 1 coat of primer and 2 coats of interior paint. Now to cut the frame for the bench. I cut 6 14-inch pieces for the sides, 4 59-inch pieces for the top and bottom, and 6 13.5-inch pieces for the cross pieces. After I cut all the pieces, I laid the bottom of the bench out onto the bottom of the closet and screwed the pieces into place. The top of the bench was built just like the bottom and assembled outside the closet. Now I had a nice solid frame. With the bifold doors cut to size, I used one for the front of the bench, sliding it into place. I laid the other door on top, making sure it was nice and square. I screwed the 1x4 into the frame. I filled the holes with wood putty, and then I screwed on the hinge. The bench was complete. After a fresh coat of paint on the walls, a new shelf, and some antique finds, the room was now functional space that we use every day.
I picked up this old 2-piece headboard for free on Facebook Marketplace, and it's time to give it some life. First thing though, I need to cut it to size. This is the front part, and I'm going to cut it down just to the top of that flat board. I need to do this to both sides. Using a Sawzall is the easiest way to do it. Once I get it all cut, then I'm going to go to the bigger part, the back side of the headboard, and I'm going to cut it down to size also, but I want to cut these little knobs off the top because I'm going to reuse them. Once I get that first part cut on the larger headboard, I'm going to sand it down, make it nice, put some glue, and then I'm going to add those little spinny knobs that I put on there. I want to make sure that the glue adheres, so I pop it up to make sure it looks good, and then I'm going to take my brad nails, just cover it in a few places, and make sure it's secure. Next, I need to put those 2 headboards together. I'm going to grab a 2x4 for that. I'm going to cut these down to about 13.5 inches, and then I need to put some pilot holes. I don't want to split the wood when I put the screws in, and pilot holes are key. Once I get those screws set, ready to go, then I'm going to take that 2x4 and I'm going to put it in place, making sure that it's flush with the top. And then I'm going to take and alternate between the screws so I don't make it pop out, and put those screws in. Next, once the board's all together, it's time to prime. As you can see, this headboard has a lot of grooves on it. So instead of taking a brush or a roller, I'm going to use some spray paint. And yes, primer is gray. There's 2 ways to apply it to a large area. You can go back and forth or do a circle motion. I prefer the circles. It covers really nice. I'm going to let that dry for about an hour, and then it's time to put the paint on. I use a nice quality paint, and again, because of all the grooves, it's time to spray it. That way I can get it covered real nice and get about 2 to 3 coats on there. I'm going to get every single area, and then it's time to turn my attention to the bench. I'm going to use some 1x6s for this. If I put 3 of them together, it's going to make the perfect width. But that back one needs some notches cut out. I'm going to use a jigsaw to cut that, sand it up to make it nice and smooth with the edges, and then the magic here is wood glue. Wood glue, if you put it down, it's going to put to all the sides, and it'll make sure it's nice and strong. Once that glue's down, I'm going to be very careful, put that first back piece in with the notches, and then I'm going to use my brad gun to put it in place. Just 2 nails to hold it down until the glue sets up. Next, it's time to put the last 2 pieces in, lay out all the glue, put the pieces down very carefully, and again, turn back to the brad nail and put those in. Just takes a few. Then I'm going to turn to some gel stain. Now, this stain is going on really thick, but don't worry. You spread it out nice and even, and it's going to look really good with that grain. And the secret is take a rag and take off all the excess stain. Too much, it's going to get blotchy. Once we get all of that excess stain out, guess what? It's time to put it in place. And look at this. I absolutely love it. So remember, we don't throw anything away when we can upcycle it. I hope this inspired you to make your own headboard to bench decor.
I headed to my local store and picked up a bunch of these cinder blocks along with some 12-inch wide pine boards. To start, I strategically arranged the cinder blocks in a T shape, placing them in 2 levels on either end, and adding extra blocks in the center to accommodate the wider space. You have the option to secure the blocks with construction adhesive or let their weight do the job. Next, I cut the pine boards to match the seating length and added some patterns. I marked the center on the 2 boards and began to draw the pattern I wanted. Then taped the edges with painter's tape and used an outdoor grade paint and stain. Once the paint was dry, I removed the tape, repeating the process to achieve the desired pattern. I then placed the boards upside down and connected the 2 boards using these mending braces. Then to protect the wood, I sprayed it with a waterproof coating. Lastly, I placed the wood top on the arranged cinder blocks and added a couple of outdoor pillows for comfort. And just like that, a simple and affordable DIY seating bench is ready to use.
I wanted to create some small, weather-resistant seating for this space that I have outside of this waterfront condo I've been working on. So I ran down to the dollar store and picked up some pool noodles. When I got these home, I cut them in half lengthwise. I made sure to cut the pool noodles to the length of the bench seat. I realized it would be best if I took the very first piece and wrapped it around the front part of the wood bench seat, and I secured it in place using a staple gun. At this point, I also added some fabric. I chose outdoor fabric because I knew that my bench was going outdoors. I secured this in place as closely as I could to the bottom of the pool noodle. After this, I moved the fabric out of the way again, put my next noodle piece down, secured it with the staple gun, put the fabric over that piece, and secured that piece again. And I continued this pattern of noodle fabric, so that I could create tufted channels, and the fabric would look like it goes all the way down in between the different pool noodle pieces. When I got to the end of the bench, I again took that last piece of pool noodle, wrapped it around the back edge of the wood, and secured it in place. The next step was just pulling the fabric over to that edge and securing it in place again. Now I did have still the 2 sides of my bench, so I kind of played with the folding in this area until it became something that I liked, and I secured it on the back of the bench again. That's all it took to get the bench seat ready. Now I needed to add the legs. I had ordered these legs off of Amazon. All I had to do was secure them in place using the screws that came in the box. Once the legs were attached, I went ahead and took my new bench and set it up in my little outdoor area. I love that it gives a little bit of seating, doesn't take too much space, and it won't get ruined by the elements because everything is water resistant. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and see you next time.